Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here with us today at the future site of the Center for Manufacturing Innovation. You know, I have to pause and borrow a term from someone that we all know. It's a great day in South Carolina. The Center for Manufacturing Innovation, or CMI as we refer to it, is a new level of partnership between industry and education. Everybody remembers the recession of just not too long ago. Well, about 2010, when we started coming out of the recession, the area manufacturers also experienced some growth, which of course is great. It's great for all of us. However, it pointed out something else, and what it pointed out is that they had an inadequate supply of employees with the appropriate skill. So we started having many discussions, many planning sessions over a number of years, and we devised a plan of how to reduce that skills gap and help our manufacturers continue to compete on a global basis. Now today, of course, we're going to turn that first shovel of dirt, but in addition to that, we're also breaking ground on a new way of delivering education. I often said if we did nothing but build a new building and keep doing things the same way, we would have wasted time and money. On the contrary, we're building in a number of innovations. It's not just about the brick and mortar. We're building in a number of innovations. We're including from K-12 to Clemson University, so we will have a full integration and seamless education throughout to create skilled talent now, not later, but now. In addition, we're going to have some things like a manufacturing honors college, which will be the first one of its kind that I'm aware of at a two-year college in the United States. We are creating opportunities for engineers, for technicians of the future. We're also going to break some long-standing stereotypes of what manufacturing is. The facility itself will help break those stereotypes because we know that there's good careers, there's very good high-paying careers in manufacturing. The facility itself physically, literally, will be a recruiting device, not only for the individual interested in manufacturing, but for new companies looking at South Carolina and the upstate. Many of you have had a hand in making today happen, and I don't want to leave anyone out, but I do want to call special attention to several people. To Cliff Rosen, there he is, to Cliff Rosen, for donating a portion of the land where we celebrate today, and to Tom Wells and Larry Estridge for their assistance with that process. Thank you very much, Cliff. To the governing board of Greenville Technical College for seeing value and innovation, thank you. To my board chair, Dave Stafford, and many of those members are here today if they would raise their hands. To members of the board, members of the board, Paul Batson, James Blakely, Calder Ehrman, who is chair of the CMI subcommittee, Glenn Hamilton, Jenny Johnson, Dean Jones, Ray Lattimore, Ray Martin, Burke Roysher, superintendent of Greenville County Schools, Coleman Chouse, and Ken Sutherland. To the Greenville County Council for helping us secure funding, our gratitude goes to Chairman Taylor. Thank you very much. In addition to many of the members of County Council who are with us here today, and I certainly want to recognize them also, Willis Meadows, Joe Baldwin, Lynn Ballard, Jim Burns, Sid Cates, Joe Dill, Lottie Gibson, Butch Curvin, Xanthine Norris, Fred Payne, and Liz Seaman. Thank you very much for your support and guidance. I would certainly be remiss if I also didn't mention Teresa Kaiser and Joe Cornell for their visionary approaches on how to move this project forward. Thank you very much. We do appreciate that dedication. We have many members of our Greenville legislative delegation who I'd also like to recognize. Those individuals are Senators Carl Allen, Ross Turner, Tom Corbin, Representatives Phyllis Henderson, Mike Burns, Dan Hamilton, Gary Smith, Eric Bedingfield, Chandra Dillard, and Wendy Nanny. Once again, the support and backing of the state has been invaluable. Thank you very much. To members of our congressional delegation who are represented here today, Cindy Crick representing Congressman Trey Gowdy, Elizabeth Edwards attending for Representative Jeff Duncan, Danielle Gibbs of Senator Tim Scott's office, Laura Turner representing Senator Lindsey Graham. I have to pause there for a second because Friday I received a letter and I do want to read parts of that letter to you. We are pleased to welcome attendees to the groundbreaking of Greenville Technical College's Center for Manufacturing Innovation. This event is a testament to the significant impact Greenville Technical College is having on both its students and the community. Manufacturing has long been a vital component of South Carolina's economic success. GTC's Enterprise Campus demonstrates the school's commitment to advanced manufacturing and the development of a trained workforce for South Carolina companies. We are honored to welcome everyone participating in today's groundbreaking. Signed, Lindsey Graham, Trey Gowdy, Tim Scott, and Jeff Duncan. Thank you very much to our congressional delegation. As you can see, it takes a true partnership of many, many people to make a project of this significance happen. And I want to recognize several other people. To Jim Barker, who was president of Clemson University at the time, and now to Dr. Jim Clements for your willingness to bring Clemson University into this effort. Thank you very much. To Mayor Knox White and the City of Greenville for their ongoing support. Now I have to insert something else in here too, and you'll have to, if you agree with this, I need to hear a round of applause, and the mayor's standing there, he's probably thinking, oh my goodness, what's he going to do? If you look at an aerial view of this property and Technology Neighborhood 1, Clemson Technology Neighborhood 1, where the graduate engineering school is, you'll see somewhat of a ravine in between this property and Clemson's property. Wouldn't it be great if the city would build a bridge to the future to connect the two properties? Couldn't pass up the opportunity, Mayor. You'll sell me a bridge, I'm sure. Okay. Moving on. Certainly to donors that have brought us this far to date and will help us keep moving, to Hubble Lighting, Duke Energy Foundation, Piedmont Natural Gas, and ScanSource. And by the way, when you pick up a gift bag on the way out, in the gift bag is a 3D printed keychain that looks like a gear, and that is compliments of ScanSource, and CMI will also have a 3D lab in it, so I wanted to be sure and point that out. Clearly, this day wouldn't have been possible without our partners in manufacturing. So it's my pleasure to introduce Mike McCormick. Mike has been associated with the Robert Bosch Corporation since 1988. Since 2008, Mike has served as Vice President and Technical Plant Manager for Bosch Rexroth in Fountain Inn. The company has been producing hydraulic pumps and motors in the Greenville area for 25 years and is now the largest hydraulics manufacturing facility in the country. In his role, Mike has firsthand knowledge of the hiring needs in advanced manufacturing. Mike, thank you very much for being with us today. and for standing with us. Mike has been with us from the very beginning to make sure that this project would happen. Please join Mike McCormick.
Thank you, Keith. Whoops. And good afternoon also from my side. On behalf of Bosch and Bosch Rexroth, we are truly honored today to represent all the fine manufacturing organizations in this community. On their behalf, it's safe to say we are thrilled to see this day finally come. You know, we're celebrating this event today in a period of relative economic strength. Unemployment is down, businesses are expanding, new businesses are moving here. It seems like all the indicators are moving in the right direction. And I think the credit for that belongs to Greenville and Greenville County, Governor Haley, to you, to the state. Thank you for fighting to keep South Carolina globally competitive. Don't stop. Fight every day. We need that. However, as Keith mentioned, it was just a few years ago, the situation was vastly different. And for those of us who were trying to run a business during those times, I don't have to remind you how terrifying it was to feel your business falling and falling and falling. You didn't know where the bottom was. It was, and I hope for all of us, the greatest economic disaster of our lifetimes. Now, I bring up those dark days for one important reason. Most of the experts now have written their books and given their speeches, have concluded, among other things, that manufacturing led the way out of that Great Recession. Manufacturing had that first spark, created the jobs, investment, and growth, and finally other segments of our economy came to life. Housing starts, banking, and so on. So really, it was manufacturing then, and it's manufacturing now. However, we have to say that even before the recession, and during, and now even today, one problem persists. And Keith already mentioned it, but it's a problem that endangers this vital part of our economy. I'm referring, of course, to the lack of high-skilled technicians for manufacturing. And to help you understand that, just consider if we didn't have enough electricity or water or buildings. High-skilled technicians are that fundamental to our business. We can't manage without any of those resources. But while all the pundits were writing articles, you know, you couldn't pick up a news journal over the last 2 years without reading an article about the critical shortage of high-skilled labor. While they were blogging and writing, Dr. Miller and his team were busy innovating. And I have to say, I'm really proud to be part of a community where the leaders of business and the leaders of education can come together and work on the really, really hard problems. And this is not a problem for Greenville County alone or South Carolina. This problem exists everywhere in our nation. And in talking with my colleagues in other countries, it's an international problem. We need to find a way to get young people excited about careers in manufacturing. Careers with growth, with income, with opportunities. Somehow we're not capturing their imaginations today. And I think, as Keith also said, we're not just constructing a new building. It's not just add more desks and chairs and the problem is solved. If this problem were solved that easily, it would have been solved a long time ago in Kansas or Texas or Ohio, but it hasn't been. It requires innovation, and Dr. Miller and his team are leading that innovation, and we need to support him in that. And finally, from my side, I wanted to point out one other observation. When the students finish their program here, the very first day on their job, whether it's at Bosch or another company in the area, they're going to be paired up with an engineer. And immediately from day one, the engineers and the technicians have to collaborate to bring the final result. Well, look who the neighbors are going to be. This is really the perfect location. The students can begin very early on collaborating with the engineers and vice versa. And I can tell you, as an engineer myself, we can come up with great ideas, great 3D models, but you can't realize the result without high-skilled technicians. So having them together during their education and together in the work is the perfect setup. Absolutely perfect. So again, thank you for the innovation. Thank you for this great location. We wish you the best of luck. Our only regret today is that we're not cutting a ribbon. We're moving some dirt around, but I'll take it. It's a step in the right direction. Congratulations, Keith, and I'll turn it back over to you.
I can feel that ribbon in my hand already. We're getting close. It is my honor to introduce James P. Clements, who became Clemson University's 15th president on December 31st, 2013. Dr. Clements is a nationally recognized leader in higher education who currently serves as chair of the Association of Public and Land-Grant Universities and the U.S. Department of Commerce's National Advisory Council on Innovation and Entrepreneurship, and these are just a few of his leadership positions. He has had, and I'm sure you've read about, he has had a tremendous impact upon Clemson University in a short amount of time and the state. But most importantly, he recognizes the value of partnerships to move an agenda forward, such as CMI. It is my honor in welcoming Dr. Clements to the stage.
Thank you, Dr. Miller. Good afternoon. And thank you all for being here today for this celebration. I'd like to take a moment to recognize Joe Swan from Clemson University's Board of Trustees. Thank you for being here, sir, and thank you for your service on our great board. And to Governor Haley, it is a real honor to have you here today. You all know we claim her as one of our alums. And Governor, I want to thank you for your support of higher education in South Carolina and your great leadership in this state. And Mayor Knox, I do not know if this is true, sir, but I heard today is your birthday. Is that true? Happy birthday, sir. Sorry about that, Mr. Mayor. In 2013, my predecessor, President Emeritus Jim Barker, signed an MOU, as Keith pointed out earlier, with Dr. Miller and Greenville Tech to create this center. The vision was for new collaboration between a top-notch research university, an innovative technical college, and advanced manufacturers to create a center that would enhance the development and the implementation of advanced manufacturing technologies. The CMI will promote student progress from associate degrees to bachelor degrees and workforce training and certificate programs that will increase the qualifications of manufacturing employees. The center will provide opportunities for Clemson engineering students to participate side by side in multidisciplinary teams with Greenville Tech students, bringing future engineers and technicians together. At Clemson, we feel fortunate to be working with Greenville Tech as we create a new integrated model of education for the manufacturing sector. Because that's what manufacturers, as Mike said, that's what they're looking for, and that is what they need. The economic development race will be won by communities that offer the services and that have the trained workforce that manufacturers are looking for. The CMI will help to meet that need, and again, Clemson is proud to partner with Greenville Tech to make that happen. Building this 100,000 square foot center right here next to CUI car makes perfect sense, because building innovative partnerships is what Greenville Tech and what Clemson are all about. Many of our corporate partners at CUI car have voiced strong support for this project and have provided input and advice for the CMI, including world-class global leaders like Bosch, BMW, Michelin, GE, and others. Their input has been invaluable to this process, and I want to thank them for their support. There is a reason why Clemson was recognized as one of the top 12 most innovative universities in the country, and it's because of partnerships just like this one. And thank you to the Greenville County Council for giving unanimous approval to the $25 million bond issue for Greenville Technical College to build this incredible enterprise campus. Besides this beautiful campus and CUI car, Clemson has an innovative MBA program in entrepreneurship and innovation that is housed in downtown Greenville at Greenville 1. Clemson is also the primary research partner with GHS in a unique clinical university model that helped GHS achieve the incredible status of an academic health center in 2013. Our programs here in Greenville have a tremendous impact on the community through our professional development programs, graduate education, and community events. If you combine all of these programs in all of these campuses, we are providing education to more than 1,200 students right here in Greenville. We are proud to be in a city that has been recognized as one of the best places to live in America. Greenville truly is the place where business and Clemson connect. And we are so happy to be able to extend that connection through the CMI. I want to quickly thank the faculty and staff from Clemson who worked so hard with our partners at Greenville Tech to make the CMI a reality. Dr. Imtiaz Haq, who recently retired as chair of the Automotive Engineering Department. Dr. Lane Mears, Associate Professor of Automotive Engineering. Fred Cartwright, Executive Director of CUI CAR. Suzanne Dickerson and John Boyette, also from the team at CUI CAR. Vice Provost Debbie Jackson. Dr. Anad Gramapati, Dean of Engineering and Science. Dr. Randy Collins, Associate Dean of the college. And Nadeem Aziz, former interim provost. This center, I believe, has the potential to transform manufacturing education in the upstate, and that will ultimately make a difference that will eventually be felt across the entire great state of South Carolina. We are thrilled to be a part of it. Thank you all again, and go Tigers.
Thank you, Dr. Clemens. Well, commit to a bridge on your birthday. That'll be part of the history book. I'm just really having a hard time letting this one go. We will move along. It is now my great pleasure to introduce Governor Nikki Haley. When Governor Haley was elected to her first term, she became the first female and the first minority governor in South Carolina history. In November, she was re-elected as the 116th governor of our state by the largest margin of victory for a South Carolina gubernatorial candidate in 24 years. Governor Haley and manufacturing are often mentioned in the same sentence. Under her administration, South Carolina leads the Southeast region in manufacturing growth. Since 2011, South Carolina has announced 330 manufacturing-related projects, which are contributing nearly $13 billion in new capital investment and nearly 32,000 new jobs across the state. And in both 2014 and 2012, our state earned Area Development Magazine's Golden Shovel Award in recognition of South Carolina's success in recruiting some of the world's top manufacturers. On a personal note, and also to demonstrate the governor's commitment to education and her recognition of the impact that technical colleges have on economic development, whenever our paths would cross, one of the first things she would say to me is, "What do you need? Let me know what you need, because you are important to the state." And that sums it up, and that says a lot. Please welcome Governor Nikki Haley.
Thank you very much. Happy birthday, Mr. Mayor. It's a great day in South Carolina for multiple reasons. I want to first say, think back 3 or 4 years ago. Because when you think back, and all of us have talked about it, Mike, I appreciate it when you think about what Bosch has meant to the state and so many of our corporate partners. It was a tough time. And the reason we have to think back to that, and that I will always remind this state of that time, is because the best lessons are when you go through the burn. That was the burn for us. That was the burn to remind us that we always have to be thinking ahead. We always have to be pushing forward. We can't ever stop and whine about it. We always have to keep working. We did that. We pushed, we fought for a strong economic climate. We fought to get past our neighboring states in competition. We fought to make sure that we were selling South Carolina so that new companies came in, but we never forgot about the fact that we needed to take care of the companies we already had here first. And so as we moved forward, we continued to become prosperous. So you look at us now, 60,000 jobs in 45 out of 46 counties. 1 million new people have moved to South Carolina in the last decade. Just named the second best state that people are moving to in South Carolina. Number 1 in international investment. And the list goes on and on. So what do we do now? We look ahead. We always keep looking ahead. The states that have a short-term success story are the states that stop and enjoy the moment. The states that really have a long-term success story are the states that realize you never stop because there's a state right behind you ready to take your place. We're at that point right now. We're at that point because you have seen us lay out an economic plan that we think is important. You've seen us lay out a workforce plan that's going to be very important. We partner with our technical schools, and really our higher education in South Carolina is second to none if we will let them do their job. We have said that we're going to make sure that we are the best and the brightest, but we're going to prove it by continuing to recruit companies. So when you look at CMI, what is it doing? It is going and showing the companies that we already have that we appreciate them. It is partnering with our institutions of higher ed to let them know that we get the fact that what they do it well, if we will let them do their job. And then we're going and sending a message to the world that if you are an industry, if you come to South Carolina, 1, we'll take care of you, 2, we will continue to change workforce with the times, and 3, we will always keep an economic climate that allows them to be successful. So I give you this as a charge. CMI is a success story, but we want it to be the ultimate success story. As we start working on workforce development, we want to make sure we're looking at what we want CMI to look like 5 and 10 years from now. What do we want our tech schools doing 5 and 10 years from now? What do we want Clemson, Go Tigers, doing 5 and 10 years from now? We want them all moving together. But what that means for South Carolina is we can't stop. So when you see all of these aggressive changes that we're going to be making in South Carolina over this next year, you're going to hear a lot of people that say, no, we can't, we shouldn't, but what if? If we had done that 4 years ago, we would not be sitting where we are today. So have confidence in your state. Know that this is a great day in South Carolina because we have great partners like Greenville County and Greenville Tech, who has done a fantastic job, in Clemson University, and all our manufacturing partners saying, let's move forward and let's move forward with confidence. Because I am a proud governor today to know that we are pushing dirt for something that's going to help our people, it's going to help our businesses, but it's going to continue to push our reputation as a state that gets it. So let's celebrate, let's enjoy the fact that we have done something fantastic today, and let's know that we're going to push forward. And with that, I'd like to ask Dr. Miller to come forward, please. On this fantastic day, with your vision and your partnership and your leadership that you have always done with Greenville Tech, because we look forward, I'm looking forward to the ribbon cutting. This is what we want to go into the building first, but I want you to know that we could not have done this without you. This is a fantastic day, not just for the upstate, but for South Carolina, and I look forward to many, many great days to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Governor, thank you very much for those supportive words and encouraging words. And this absolutely will be the first thing to go into the building. And we will be looking forward to that ribbon cutting. A final thank you. I really need to do this. I listed all of the partners, local government, state government, federal government, industry, et cetera, to help make things happen, but they wouldn't really come to fruition unless you have that hard-working staff. First, I want to recognize Becky Mann for taking the leadership role in pulling all this together, because it was quite an undertaking. Thank you very much, Becky. Thank you. A number of employees from Greenville Technical College are here today also. Thank you very much for your hard work and dedication. Thank you. Appreciate that. So let's get started. Let's move things ahead. If I can ask Joe Cornell, Bob Taylor, and Dave Stafford to join myself and the other speakers, we're going to go right around over here and move that first shovel of dirt.
There you are.
Let's do the heads.
Safety first. Manufacturers. Thanks for a good photo.
That's right. Never. Shovel doesn't mean anything.
That's right. That's right. Okay. On the count of three. 1, 2, 3. Let's do another. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Everybody look up.
Bring in the hydraulically powered machines now and get some real work done.
Thanks again, everyone, for coming. We appreciate it. Again, please help yourself to the refreshments and definitely grab a gift bag. Thank you very much.
Good stuff.
Thank you. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
See you at the next home game, I hope.
Yep.
Haley, good to see you again. Not too bad.